The best part about sourdough is being able to share it with your friends. We're going to talk about a starter. We're going to make you both your own starter.
Yay!
And we're going to talk about how not to let it get carried away like mine is today.
That's a lot, right?
I mean, we're doing a lot of sourdough today, so I kind of went hog wild on feeding it and got this big thing, but mine usually sits in a jar like this.
Okay, so it like very much looks alive.
This is your plant. You're gonna feed it, you're gonna give it life, and you're gonna make sure it has that once a week. I got really confused with this, and the best way to think about every time you feed your starter, it's gonna be a ratio of 1 to 1 to 1.
Okay.
So today we're gonna do 40 grams of starter with 40 grams of water and 40 grams of flour.
Everything by weight.
Yep, so we're gonna put our jar, we're gonna zero it out.
Oh.
Okay.
Smell that. Alex is gonna catch me just in the kitchen.
Just smell it.
Just smelling the starter. I love that smell. 40 grams.
40 grams. It's very sticky. Ooh. It's very gooey. It's kind of like melted marshmallow is what I like to think about texture-wise.
Oh no.
Okay, so 40 grams is not very much.
Keeping it alive. Nope. We're gonna go 40 grams of water.
40 grams flour.
So this just feeds it. That the bacteria,
This is
the
feeding
enzymes in there, we're just giving it food for the week.
You do this once a week, yeah?
Yes. This over here. And that's your little starter.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you have to do.
Yep.
I
That was
love
easy.
it.
And then what that'll do is that'll double in size. Like if you left it out, it'll double in size to like cook with and grow with. But because we're gonna save it for the week, we'll put it in the fridge and we'll let it grow slowly over the next week until you wanna cook with it.
Okay.
Or feed it again. For this adventure, everybody's gonna say, okay, how did you grow this? My scaling was to give it more food and more water. So what I did is I did the 40-40 and let it grow. And then I went and weighed how much I had.
Okay.
And then I took that amount and did equal parts. So at that time I had like 120 and I did 120, 120, 120.
Right.
Okay. So you can get a lot of starter.
And that's how
pretty
this thing
quickly.
got as big as it is.
And this took what, like 24 hours?
Yeah, I just did
total
it.
of-
I did it yesterday, and it took it usually, if you leave it out on the counter, it will double in size in like 2 or 3 hours. So
Okay.
it's pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
typical. We got
Yeah,
little,
there's
little
starters.
babies.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to starter.
Now you've decided, okay, I want to make sourdough with my starter, right?
Yes.
So our starter, we feed 1 to 1 to 1 just to keep it alive. We're giving it some flour, we're giving it some water. So we decide, okay, I'm gonna make sourdough tomorrow. I need to do all my stretch and folds tomorrow. That's where I set all my time. This is a very simple, like, first step the night before.
Okay.
So this is what we prepped the night before. This is where I got confused when I did sourdough. I didn't know this whole step, like nobody explained the word Levain. So this is where we do the Levain step. With Levain, it's just a slightly different ratio. And you take the starter, you do the slightly different ratio, and this is the amount that you are gonna cook the whole thing with. So you're gonna use this to make your dough tomorrow
Okay.
morning,
Yeah.
or whenever you have time. So we're gonna do 25 grams of our starter. So I'm gonna take the starter.
So this is the step that you did yesterday for our other 3
For the
loaves
stuff, yes.
that
Yes.
we've been doing.
So I did this the night before. Yeah, last night I prepped all the bowls for this.
You did 3 of these.
I did 3 of these.
This is what, when we like first revealed
Right. Right.
our bowls, this is what was created, was the Levain, right? Before we added
Yes.
the flour and the water.
This is what we're gonna make our whole loaf with. This starter here, put the lid on, put it back in the fridge. Now we're gonna mix, instead of 1 to 1 to 1, because we did 25 here, we're gonna do 40 in water and 40 in flour. So once again, I like to incorporate the water first before I put the flour in, just to kind of take what I have here and get it all ready for everything that's...
So you're really just doing like the same step over and over and over, making it bigger and bigger and bigger until it's ready to bake.
Yep.
That's super easy. I feel like, seriously,
It's not overwhelming, right?
yeah, it's not overwhelming. It's not hard. It's time consuming as far as like, you know,
Yeah.
you got to make sure you're home ready to
Yeah. It
make
takes
the
hours
stuff,
to get
right?
through it all. Yeah.
do all the folds and stuff, but like super simple. And not a lot of ingredients.
We'll just mix this in here, incorporate it enough. It kind of looks like your starter, to be honest, texture-wise. And then You'll put the cover on that and then you'll leave that out like overnight, or if you're doing it during the day, if you have to like make it in the morning, you're gonna do all your stretch and folds in the evening. You leave it on for about, I don't know, 8 hours or so, 8 to 12 hours, just to let this sit and do its thing. So
Beautiful.
super easy. There's your levain. Put a cover on, put a hairnet, and it's ready to go.